Hope you guys are doing well this morning, and happy Easter. Okay, um, I had one of my friends said, "I'm not going to be able to watch you, because Easter Sunday and all." And I thought, okay, well that's fine that you're not watching me, but how interesting is that? I wonder what she's doing. So anyhow, if y'all are hunting eggs or doing some kind of church service or whatever, anyway, I hope you all are having a good morning. At the Woodlands Yoga Studio, and I thank you for joining me this morning. This is going to be a mixed level practice, and by that I mean that I'm just going to try to get in a little bit of a lot of stuff. I'm going to try to hit every part of your body if I can. So anyway, thank you guys for being here, and I'll get started. So if I can get you to sit up nice and tall and go to your breath. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, drop your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Stretch down the left side of your neck. And then go ahead and duck your chin in towards your left collarbone. Puts a stretch on a little bit different part of your neck. And then swing the head back to where the right ear is directly over the right shoulder again. And then take your hands behind your back and clasp. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And roll your head all the way to forward with your chin to your chest. And then release everything, your arms, your head, bring it up to a neutral position. And then on your next exhale, take your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then duck your chin in towards your right collarbone. And then slide your head back to where your left ear is directly over your shoulder. Take your hands behind your back and clasp them again. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then roll your head back forward, chin to the chest. And then you're going to release your hands and put them on the floor behind you with your fingers pointing away from you. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together. And now you're going to slowly begin to take your head back. And take it back all the way, open up your throat, and work your jaw. And then you can release by coming back up to a neutral position and place your hands palms up or down on your thighs. And take 2 or 3 more deep inhales and exhales. And then you're going to open your eyes. And I'm going to ask you guys to come around to all fours on your mat. Place your hands about 5 or 6 inches from the top of your mat, and your palms can, if it's comfortable for you, be slightly turned out where that rolls your upper arms out. Okay, make sure your thumbs are in line with each other, and then begin to take just some spinal movement. Okay, cat-cow, spinal jump rope, just squiggle around. Anything that might feel good to you. You can get your shoulder blades active in this process also. And then pause, and now I'm going to ask you to turn your hands around to where your fingers are facing your knees and the front of your wrists are facing the front of your mat, and then continue on with your spinal gyrations. But now included in this, I would like you to kind of start taking your hips back towards the back of your mat. Just a little bit. Keep your palms pressed firmly on the earth because you just want this big stretch down the front of your forearms. And then release that, and you can shake your hands out for a second, okay? And then go ahead and turn your hands onto the top with your fingers still pointing at your knees, but you're on the top of your hands with your thumbs pointing towards each other. And then, same thing, just move your spine around. It's more difficult in this regard to take your hips back, but try to press your thumbs down. Try to put as much pressure on your hands as you can. This doesn't feel lovely for everybody. And then slowly release and come up, and you can shake your hands out, work them around, do your wrist. Okay. And you place your hands back on the mat up at the top. You're going to tuck your toes and push up into downward facing dog. Inhale and come up on the balls of your feet. Turn your heels towards the right back corner of your mat and then stretch back. Big stretch down the left side of your torso. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, but roll your upper arms out so it broadens your upper back. And then on an inhale, come up through the center on that onto the balls of your feet, and then take your heels over towards the left and stretch back. Press into the hands strongly and pull the shoulders apart. The shoulder blades are at the bottom of your back and they're squeezing together, but your shoulders are at the top and they're pulling apart. I want to be clear on what I mean when I say those things. And then come back up to the center, heels high in the air, bend the knees, push into your hands, look up at your hands. All right, and then bend your elbows out to the side. Your face will come closer to the floor. Squeeze the bottom tip of your shoulder blades together, press into your hands, and then with all that going on, slowly start to straighten your legs. And then start to take an inhale, and you're going to come up onto the balls of your feet, and you're going to come forward into plank pose. And pause here at the top of a push-up. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. And again, inhale forward into plank pose. And you lower your knees to the earth, right back where they are. Don't try to bring them forward, just set them down right where they are. Roll your upper arms out some more, so broaden your collarbones. All these instructions are kind of the same thing, it's just a different way of saying it. All right, and then we're going to bend our elbows just a little bit, whatever's comfortable for you. Press into that space between your thumb and your index finger strongly on your hands, and then press your arms straight and take your hips back. Don't move your hands. Okay, so only take your hips back as far as you can without moving your hands. And then inhale forward. Press into the inside of your hands strongly, and exhale, bend your elbows, lower about halfway. Pause, hug your belly in. Inhale, straighten your arms, and exhale, take your hips back. So I really want you to get going big time on your breath with this, okay? Big breaths, and we're going to try to keep that up through the whole practice. So inhale, come forward. And on an exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, back. 2 more, big breath. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, take your hips back. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, take your hips back. Pause here. Now go ahead and look up at your hands. Place your elbows on the floor right behind your wrist. And then you're going to take your hands together, clasp them in headstand hands, and both of the outside of both of your little fingers are on the floor. Tuck your toes and push your hips up in the air, dolphin. And just breathe. So squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. You're trying to broaden at the top and letting your neck hang perfectly free. So you can stay here, or you can walk your feet forward a little bit. Take an inhale
And on the exhale, try to push your chest towards your knees. And then slowly lower your knees to the earth. And now you're going to take your hips all the way back. And now you can take your arms off the floor and clasp your hands behind your back with your palms together, squeezing your shoulder blades together on your back. So your face will be about 4 or 5 inches off the floor, looking at the earth. And then release your arms and reach them forward in the air. Stretch. Lower the hands. Tuck the toes. Push yourself up into downward facing dog. Take the right leg in the air. Draw the knee into the chest. Wrap the right leg around the left in an eagle leg. And then turn the left toes out. And stand on the foot. And then just press back through your hands. And don't undo your legs, but inhale forward into a plankish situation. And exhale back, hips in the air. One more time. Inhale forward, plank kinda. Exhale back. Pause here. And go ahead and draw your right knee. It's right there in front of your nose. Go ahead and draw it in a little closer to your nose. Reach down with your left hand and grab the outside of your right foot, and then start to bring your right leg forward in the air towards the left front corner of your mat. Push through the heel of your right foot so that really stretches the back of that right leg. And then draw the knee back into the chest and start to turn towards the earth. Wrap the right leg back around the left in that eagle leg. And then just push back into where you started here. And then flip your left heel in the air. Draw the right knee into the chest and then take the right leg up in the air. Three-legged dog and downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, release, full Uttanasana. And then breathe again, inhale, and exhale. Inhale all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, and Tadasana, hands in Anjali Mudra. So from the top of your mat, inhale and reach for the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands and step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the air. Knee to the chest and wrap the left leg around, eagle. Turn the right toes out, stand on the foot and just push back through your arms. Broaden your upper back. And then inhale forward into plank pose. And exhale, take your hips back in the air. Forward again into plank. And then start to draw the left knee in towards the chest. Reach down with your right hand, grab the outside of your left foot, and bring the left foot forward on your mat towards the right front corner in the air. Push through the left heel. And then draw the knee into the chest. Come back into eagle. Right hand to the earth. Push back through both hands. And then flip the right heel in the air. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, take it back. Draw the left knee into the nose. Left leg in the sky. And then downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose and lower into the chaturanga of your choice, with your knees or not. Lower all the way to the earth. Inhale into cobra or up dog and pause. Tuck your toes, push through your belly, push yourself into a plank, and then back into downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, full chest to thighs. Do it again with a breath. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Hands in Anjali Mudra. From the top of your mat, inhale, reach for the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Jump or step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward into plank pose. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Take the right leg in the air. Draw the knee in towards the nose. Come forward into plank. And then lower the right shin down. Come up onto your fingers. And start to take your left leg in the air. Keep your left toes facing the floor. All right, squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Take the left leg as high as is comfortable for you. Pause. Inhale. And exhale, take that left foot down. And the right leg will come up in the air for three-legged dog. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the sky. Knee to the nose. Come on forward. Three-legged plank. And then lower the shin. Come up onto the fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you bow forward. A nose almost going to the earth. Right toes pointing to the floor. They're in the sky, pointing to the floor. And then inhale and lower that right leg. And take the left leg in the sky, three-legged dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, full chest to thighs. Do it again. And release. Inhale up. And Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Place your hands and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You're going to take your right leg in the air and bring the right foot on the outside of the right hand. Press it firmly into the earth, turn your left toes out, and reach for the left front corner of your mat. Keep your right hip tucked underneath, and just stretch. Take your left hand behind your back, and then your right hand behind your back. Clasp your hands together, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the head of your arm bones to the sky. Take an inhale, and then on the exhale, bring your face a little bit closer to the earth. Press into the outside of your left foot. That's your back one. And now straighten your right leg. That's the front. And on an exhale, bend back into that right leg, but do it with a lot of muscle integrity. Keep your foot real grounded into the earth. And then straighten the leg again. And then bend back into the knee. Release the hands and reach into the air in the center of the room. And exhale, lower the hands to the earth. Flip the back heel up. Right leg in the sky, three-legged dog. And on an exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg in the sky. Bring the left foot forward on the outside of the left hand. Turn the back foot down and reach for the right front corner of your mat. Now keep your left hip really tucked underneath there. Get that leg all fired up. Just stretch. And now take your right hand behind your back and then your left. Clasp your hands or your elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take an inhale and move your face closer to the earth. Keep lifting the head of your arm bones up. Keep the back of your head in line with your neck and straighten your left leg. Lift your left toes even. And on an exhale, bend into your left knee. And inhale, straighten the left leg. And bend into the left leg. Release your arms in the air and reach for that right front corner of your mat in the air. And then lower the hands to the earth. Flip the back heel up. Three-legged dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward again, plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. You're going to take the leg in the air. Mine's going to be my right. Okay, you're going to take the leg in the air and you're going to step forward with the leg that's going to have you facing me, okay, when you come around. So I'm going to take my right foot forward, turn all my toes now to the front of my mat, okay, and my ankles are directly underneath my wrist when I'm up. That's how wide apart your legs are. All right, clasp your hands behind your back, and on an exhale, bow forward from the hips. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Release and reach your hands into the center of the room. And then lower your left hand to the earth, right underneath your nose, and take your right hand to the sky. So you're going to try to stack your right shoulder blade right on top of your left. Hug in the inside of your legs. So keep yourself even in your hips. And on an exhale, change sides. And on an exhale, lower the left hand also. And now you're going to bend your knees, clasp your hands behind your back, and then you're going to bend into the right knee, straightening the inside of the left leg, and then straighten the right leg, bending into the left knee. Okay, and you're just going to go back and forth. All your toes are pointed forward, and so the knees are pointed forward also. And really just try to stretch the inside of the straight leg. And then come back to the center. Release your hands to the earth. You're going to turn your right toes out towards the front corner of your mat. And you're going to start to bend into that right leg. You're going to bend deeply into the right knee, and the left toes are going to turn up towards the sky. A lot of people have a tendency to have these toes still keep coming in. You got to really try to roll them to where they're straight up and to where the back of your left leg is parallel to the earth, okay? And then take either your right hand or your right elbow and push it into the right knee and push it back. So you're trying to open the inside of the right leg, okay? And now from here, you're going to reach forward into the center of the room. Keep stretching the left toes towards the sky. And then clasp your hands behind you. And one more time, reach them in front of you, stretch. And then lower your hands to the earth. And we're going to come back through the center and walk over to the other side. So the left toes will turn out towards the left front corner of your mat. The right toes will go to the sky. All right, and now again, one of the most important parts of this pose to me is this left knee, the bent leg knee. Push it back, either with your elbow or with your hand, but don't let it cave in towards your left arm. Push it back. Right toes go to the sky. And just stretch the inside of that right leg. And then reach the arms into the center of the room. And then take the hands behind you and clasp them. And then inhale, reach forward again, and this time really try to put the back of the right knee on the earth. And on an exhale, lower the hands to the earth, and you're going to walk back to the front of your mat, wherever that is for you. And then come back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose, and exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. We're going to lower our forearms to the earth again. And you can keep your arms like this, or if you want to clasp your hands together again like we did before in dolphin, please feel free to do that, okay? At any rate, with your legs, either stay here or take a breath and walk forward an inch or so. Hug your belly deeply into your spine, and then you're going to bend your right knee in towards your nose, and you're going to take your right toes up towards the sky. Draw the knee into the nose again, and then lower that leg, pause, breathe, and then left knee towards the nose, left leg in the sky, and then knee back to the nose, And lower the leg to the earth. Press your hands into the earth and push up into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And inhale forward into plank. And exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, release, full Uttanasana. And then do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. And Tadasana. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, diving for the earth. Placing your hands on the earth and stepping back, downward facing dog. Take your right leg in the air. Draw the knee in towards the nose and just pause here. Look at the space up between your thumbs. And I want you to get that foot up right between your thumbs. However you can get it up there, but get it all the way up. And then you're going to turn your back heel down, and we're going to come into Parsvakonasana. So your right elbow can be on your right knee, top arm goes up and over. Press into the whole sole of the left foot, the back foot, okay? And the right knee, you're using your arm into the knee. Your arm is pushing the knee back to the wall behind your rear end, and the knee is pushing back into the arm. So there's a lot of muscle action going on there. Take an inhale and lift the arm off the leg, reaching into the center of the room. And then we're going to come up into Warrior Two. Take an inhale and exhale, Warrior Four. Back into Warrior Two. And then clasp your hands behind your back. And we're going to bow into Humble Warrior. Keep pressing that right knee way forward. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Hugging. And then releasing the arms in the air. Reaching for the left front corner of your mat. And now turn your torso. And look at the... you don't look at the camera. I'm going to look at the camera. You look at me. And then lower the hands to the earth. And step back. Three-legged dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Lower into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Cobra. And exhale, back into downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, release, chest to thighs. Do it again, big breath. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. And Tadasana. Hands in Anjali Mudra. So, from the top of your mat, inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands and step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the sky. Knee to the nose and pause. Look at the space between your hands and then get your foot up there. Turn the back heel down. Parsvakonasana. Press into the whole sole of both feet, strong in both legs. Drawing energy up into the core of your pelvis from both directions here. Lift your left arm in the sky. And come into Warrior Two. Take an inhale. Warrior Four. Back into Warrior Two with a breath. Big inhale. Clasp your hands behind your back. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Moving your left knee back. Bow forward into Humble Warrior. Release your arms. Reach towards the right front corner of your mat. And now turn your torso, look at me. Turn back towards the earth, place the hands and step back. Three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into plank and exhale lower, Chaturanga. Inhale into Cobra and exhale back into downward facing dog. Jump or step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, release. Inhale again, and exhale. Inhale, come all the way up, and Tadasana, Urdhva Uttanasana. Place the hands and step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take the right leg in the air, draw the knee into the nose, look at the space between your thumbs, and then get your foot up there. Parsvakonasana again. Reaching your left arm over, stretching. Reach your right arm in the air, so both arms reaching. And keep pressing forward, forward. Inhale and exhale and lower the underside of your right torso towards your thigh. And then you're going to drop your right fingers behind your right foot on the outside of the arch, okay? And you're going to slowly take your left hand to the sky and straighten your right leg. Triangle pose. And then on an inhale, exhale into the right knee. Take it back there. And then you're going to take your left arm into the center of the room. And then take your right arm, reaching both arms. So now your right torso should be closer to your thigh. Okay? So now take your right hand either in front of your foot or behind your foot, whatever works for you. And come into Parsvakonasana like this. Side angle lower though. And then reach the arm into the center of the room. Turn the torso towards the earth. Place the hands on the floor. Three-legged dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale forward. Exhale, take it back. Inhale forward again and lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jumper step to the top of your mat. Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, release. And again, breathe. And release. Inhale up. And Tadasana. Hands in Anjali Mudra. From the top of your mat, reach up. Urdhva. Exhale, dive forward. Uttanasana. Place your hands and step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the sky. Knee to the nose. Pause and look. And get the foot up there. Parsvakonasana. Lift the left arm in the sky also. On a breath, start to lower the torso, and now drop the left fingers behind the right foot. Right arm goes to the sky, straighten the left leg, triangle pose. And then reach the right arm forward, and reach the left arm forward. Bend back into the left knee. Your torso will be closer to the thigh. And now drop your fingers in front of your foot or behind your foot. Full Parsvakonasana. Lift the left arm. Turn towards the earth. Three-legged dog. Downward facing dog. And either take a vinyasa or rest in pose of the child or rest in downward facing dog or do something to take a break for a second. And then everybody meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Take the right leg in the air. Draw the knee in towards the nose. And you're going to bring your right foot on the outside of your right hand. And now you're going to lower your left knee, your back knee to the earth. So I'm going to give you some options here. You can put your rolled up towel if you'd like behind that knee if you want, or you can put something else there. Okay? And at any rate, we're going to keeping our right knee directly over our right ankle, we are going to take our left leg back as far as we can. Okay, so look down at your right ankle. It's right underneath your right knee. You know what? I'm going to turn around. That's going to be better for you. Okay. So, right knee over right ankle, left leg back as far as it'll go. You're down on your forearms and breathe. And then roll onto the outside of the right foot. And we're going to just rock our hips back and forth sideways across the mat. Be sure and hug your belly into your spine on this one, okay? You don't want your belly hanging away from your low back because it really is bad for it. And then go ahead and release. Step back onto your right foot. Now your right toes and your right knee should be facing in the same direction. So you can turn your right toes out if you'd like. And now you're going to bend your back leg. And if you need to come up to your hand to grab the foot, that's fine. If you can stay down on your forearm and reach back and grab the foot, that's cool too. But at any rate, grab your foot. And then you're going to move your butt back into your foot. So you stick your hips up in the air and make the foot get on the buttock. And then come back forward, keeping the foot on the buttock if you can. Really big quad stretch. Roll your right shoulder blade on top of your left shoulder blade. And then gently, don't let the foot pop down or don't let the leg pop down, but release the back foot, okay? And now from here, we're going to walk with our right foot towards the front of our mat. So if your foot was off your mat a little bit, bring it back on, okay? It can be right at the edge, and you're going to start to walk your foot forward. And as soon as your foot gets to the edge of the floor, okay, off of the mat, go ahead and push up onto your heel like you're pushing into a wall with that right foot, okay? And then you're going to start sliding the right foot forward. Now, I like to take my hand on my arm on the outside of my leg because it keeps my leg corralled in, because you don't want your legs playing way out to the side. So I use my arm to help my leg go forward, okay? And so your floor, your pelvis is facing the earth. Your hip bones are facing either the wall in front of you or the earth, okay? And we're only doing this once on this side, so we're going to stay here a minute. Take one more breath and exhale. Push through that foot any amount. And then slowly start to walk the foot back towards you. There's no beautiful way to get out of this pose, I have found, okay? Walk the leg back, and then you're going to tuck the toes, and you're going to push back into downward facing dog. And pause here and breathe. And inhale, come forward. And exhale, take it back. And jumper step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, release. And then do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. And Tadasana, hands in Anjali Mudra. And from the top of your mat, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Place your hands on the mat and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now we're facing dog. Inhale forward into plank pose. And exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Take your left leg in the sky and bring your left foot on the outside of your hand and lower your right knee to the earth. Come down to your forearms. You can turn your left toes out just slightly if your knee has the tendency to go out, okay? And you're just going to breathe here for a second. And then you're going to roll to the outside of your left foot to where the sole of the foot is kind of facing your left elbow or your left hand. And then you're going to start rocking your hips back and forth across the mat. And then step back onto the sole of the left foot. And again, we're going to bend the right knee, bring it in towards the buttock. And if you need to come up to your hand to grab the foot, do that. If you can stay down low and grab the foot, do that. Take an inhale and back your butt up in the air. Stick your hips up in the air. Attach your foot to your butt. And then come back forward. Roll your left shoulder blade on top of your right to where your torso is facing the wall directly in front of you. And then gently release the foot. Going to come up onto the sole of the left foot, and you're going to start to walk the left foot forward towards the front of your mat and flip it up as soon as you can. So now your hips, think about this, your hip bones are facing either the wall in front of you or they're facing the floor if you're down further. Okay, the inside of your back thigh is rolling up towards the sky, so you're directly on that knee. That's why some people need padding on their knees here. Okay, but then anyway, just start breathing, just start bringing yourself forward. Two more big breaths, big inhales, big exhales. And then release. Start to walk the foot back. Get out of this one way or the other. Come to all fours and just kind of rock and roll your spine around for a moment. And then tuck your toes and push up into downward facing dog. And jumper step to the top of your mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, full Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up. And Tadasana. Okay, so we're going to do either a handstand or a handstand prep, depending on where you are. I would, if you absolutely have to take your mat to a wall, well, by all means, please do so. But I'd like for it to be that it's not. We're not going to be here that long, and I'd like for it to be that being on a. Certainly, if you're on a rug, it's okay. If you're on a hardwood floor, you got to see how you feel about that. But at any rate, I'm going to give the handstand people, the people who are going to do handstands, I'm going to give you something first, okay? And then the people who do not do handstands, I want you to do a handstand prep with me. I'm going to do that next. But so just briefly, the handstand people, you're going to come over to the wall and you're going to kick up into a handstand, and then you're going to bend your knees, okay? And this is all you're going to do. You're going to stay here, okay? And then play with one leg at a time. Okay, now please feel free to do this in the center of the room if you are one of them people, okay? So in other words, just play with your legs here, but stay up in the handstand. There's no good reason to come down, okay? So that's you guys. The L shape at the wall people, all right? So you're going to do this with me. You're going to come down to all fours with the soles of your feet. I'm going to do this here so you can see. The soles of my feet are on the wall. Okay? So that's the story on that. And then your hands are in handstand arms, downward facing dog arms. Roll your upper arms out, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and lift your hips in the air. And then, so you're in a very short downward facing dog. Now don't move anything. You're not there, so I'm not there to watch you, so don't move anything. And then you're just going to put one foot in the air, and the other foot in the air on the wall behind you. And you come up into L shape at the wall. And then from here, you just play here. Bend your knees, okay? Walk up the wall, as high as you want to go. Walk down the wall, bend your knees. Just got to mess around here, okay? The point is, and now I'm coming down, you stay. The point is to do that for as long as you can. And the other thing I would like to encourage people to do is to not make handstands or particularly handstand preps be a big deal. I just do this every day just like you do a quad stretch every day or just like you do a downward facing dog every day. It's not a big deal. Don't make it one.
if you don't do handstands, start out with a handstand prep. You can put your feet on the back of a couch, something like that. But just, you got to start somewhere, I think. So anyway, everybody just take a couple more breaths and wrap that up and meet back at our mat. All right. And then we are going to, everybody going to come back into downward facing dog. And from there, you're going to inhale forward into plank pose. And pause here, top of a push-up. And exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Take the right leg in the air, draw the knee in towards the chest. Look up at your thumbs and get the foot up there. We're going to turn this pose into Parsvakonasana again. So your elbow can be at your knee now, or we're way more warmed up so your fingers can be on the floor, you know, whatever you got going on there. Pause and breathe. And then inhale, reaching into the center of the room with the bottom arm. And straighten the bottom leg. So you're in triangle, reaching both arms forward. Inhale. You can do one of two things. We're going to go into Ardha Chandrasana. So you can come from here if you like to come from triangle, or you can bend back into Parsvakonasana. Either which way, you're going to put your right hand about 8 or 10 inches away from the little toe of your right foot. And then you are going to bunny hop your feet up if that's what you need to do. But you pause here at some point in time. Notice I'm keeping my chest open. All right. And then I'm going to just simply reach up there. Whoop, sorry. Straighten the bottom leg. Take the left arm in the sky. Okay? And what I want you to notice is that my right hand is a foot and a half away from my right foot. You just don't want to get it very close at all. The farther you get it away, the easier it is to balance. Okay? And then from here, we're going to take our left toes in the air around towards our face. And then take the leg back. Pause here. And then you're going to bend the left knee, foot in towards the butt, and just reach back in this direction. If you can grab the foot for Ardha Chandrasana and Shavasana, do so. And make this be a back bend. Really open it up. If you can't grab the foot, you can do the pose anyway, just like that. We're only doing one on each side, okay? And then you're going to release the arm in the air and the leg in the air. And then you're going to turn your torso towards the earth. Bring your left fingers down so all your fingers are on the floor. And your hips roll down. Your hip bones are facing the earth. The left toes are active, pointing down towards the floor. Okay, and so push into your right foot. You should be able to really feel this up the back of the right leg. Okay, turn the left toes out. And once again, you're going to bring the leg around in the air towards your left ear. And then take the leg back. Turn the toes down. And lower the leg. Bringing yourself into Uttanasana. Inhale. And exhale, take your chest to your thighs. Do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. Urdhvastasana. And Tadasana. So from the top of your mat, reaching for the sky, Urdhva and exhale, Uttanasana. Place your hands and step back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale forward into plank. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the sky. Draw the knee into the nose. And step forward, Parsvakonasana.
Lift the bottom arm, reaching into the center of the room. Straighten the bottom leg. And exhale, come into triangle pose. Take your top hand to your hip. And then either which way, step up into Ardha Chandrasana from triangle or go back to Parsva Konasana, whatever. Take the top arm to the sky again. Pause. And then bring your toes around like you're going to touch your nose. And take the leg back. Bend the knee. Reach back in that direction. Whether or not you grab the foot is academic. Open up into a back bend. And then release the arm and the leg back in the air. Inhale. And exhale, turn the torso towards the earth. Come into a standing split. So pause here for a second and really feel the power in the back leg, okay? In the straight, I'm sorry, not the back leg, the straight leg, the leg you're standing on, excuse me. And then turn the toes of the right foot out. Bring the leg around or in the air again. Touch your ear. And take the leg back. Turn the toes towards the earth. And exhale, release the leg. Pausing in Uttanasana. Exhale, full Uttanasana. Inhale again, Ardha. And exhale. Inhale all the way up. And Tadasana, hands in Anjali Mudra. Urdhva Hastasana. Dive forward, Uttanasana. Place your hands on the mat and step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward again, and you're going to lower to your knees. Also, you're on all fours. And you're going to take your right leg in the air straight behind you, left arm in the air straight in front of you. Reach back, bend the right knee, reach back, grab hold of the foot for a back bend. And then reach arm in the air and leg in the air. Turn the right toes out, bring them around towards your ear as you take your left arm in the air around towards your ear. And then arm behind you, leg behind you. And then drop your left fingers to the floor, turn your right toes out, and you're going to bring your right arm in the air. You're going to balance right arm, right leg in the air. Bend the right knee, reach back and grab hold of the foot or just reach in that direction. Another opportunity for a back bend. And then release, arm in the air, leg in the air. Start to turn your torso towards the earth and come down to all fours. Pause and breathe. Yep, high. Left leg in the air, right arm in the air. Bend the knee and reach back and grab hold. Hand to foot, back bend. Release, arm in the air, leg in the air. Turn the left toes out. Bring them around towards your ear in the air. Bring the right arm around to the side. Your torso facing the earth. Arm in the air, leg in the air behind you and in front of you. Pause. Drop the right fingers to the floor. And take the left hand to the sky. Bring the left leg around in the air like you're going to touch your nose. Take it back in the air behind you. Bend the knee. Grab hold of the ankle. And back bend. And then arm in the air, leg in the air. And roll towards the earth. Back to all fours. Widen your knees on the mat and slide your hips back. Pose of the child. And stretch your hands as far forward as you can. And then look up at your hands. Place your forearms on the earth. Either bring your hands together, and we're going to do our last dolphin. So your hands can come together or they can stay apart. Tuck your toes and push your hips up in the air. And just walk your toes as close into your nose as you can. And then release. Press your hands into the earth. Tuck your toes. Push back into downward facing dog. Right leg in the sky. Draw the knee in towards the nose, and you're going to come into pigeon. So the right knee will come right to the outside of the right wrist, and you're going to scooch the left leg back. Pad the knee if you need to. And you're going to walk your torso as far forward. Walk your torso down. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. So big, big stretch. Now press the top of your left thigh into the earth. Start to walk yourself back. So try to get your left thigh as flat on the earth as you can, and you're going to bend the knee, and you're going to reach back one last time, one last quad stretch. Please feel free to do mermaid here if you'd like. Otherwise, just a basic quad stretch is fine. You're going to reach in that direction. And then release. Tuck the toes. Kick that knee off the floor. Press the hands and come into three-legged dog. And then downward facing dog. Inhale, forward into plank pose. Exhale, take it back. Left leg in the sky. Knee to the nose. Come on into pigeon. Walk the right leg back and stretch out. And then start to walk yourself back up. Keep your right thigh on the floor, bend the knee. Last quad stretch on the right. Mermaid if you'd like. And then release the foot. And tuck the toes. Kick the knee off the floor. Leg in the sky, downward three-legged dog, and then downward facing dog. Pause and take a breath in dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. And exhale, take it back. And then lower your knees to the earth. And you're going to come up. Okay, so you're kneeling. All right, and then from here, tuck your toes or not. We're going to do camel. All right, so you want to keep your thighs moving forward, your hips moving forward, shoulders are squeezing on your back, and your hands, you can bring them back behind you. It is perfectly fine to bring your hands into the small of your back and just keep them here for your back bend. Or if you'd like to go ahead and lower your hands to your heels, okay? Back bend here, whatever would feel right to you. And then inhale up, reaching for the sky. And Tadasana, arms. Pause and breathe. Inhale, reach for the sky again. And exhale, one more. And then release. Hands back to the sky. And hands in Anjali Mudra. Pause here. All right, and then we are going to lie down on our backs. Right leg in the sky. Left ankle across the right knee. 3 choices, okay? You can grab the back of the thigh here, the right thigh with both hands. You can bend the knee and grab the shin with both hands. Or you can, if you're real flexible, reach up and grab the ankle and bring the leg in that way. Whichever works best for you. What you're trying to do is do the best thing you can to get your left hip opening, okay? So that's where you want to feel this. This is the way I do it because this feels best to me. I can get the most power here and I can bring this right leg in as close to me as possible, and I'm really feeling this in the outside line of the left hip. One more breath. Bring that leg in as close as you can. And then set the right foot on the floor. And use the left ankle to bring the right knee over to the left. So, stretch your right arm out on the floor behind you, kind of catty-cornered out there. And so you got a line of energy rolling down from your right fingers through your right arm into your right armpit, and then down the side of your body all the way into that right knee. And release. Come back to the center. Square yourself up on the floor. And then take your legs in the sky. I'm sorry. Left leg in the sky. I'm ahead of myself. Okay. And cross your right ankle across your left knee. And then same thing. Bring it in however you can bring it in the closest. But what you're trying to do is this right hip. Okay. You're really trying to, that's where you want to feel it the most. Couple more breaths, bring it in as deeply as you can. And then set the left foot on the floor. Use the right ankle to draw the inside of the left knee over to the right. Stretch that left arm behind you and just make this whatever you want. It can be a twist, it can be a stretch. And roll back up to the center. Square yourself up. Now take both legs in the air. And then draw your knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Roll from side to side. Come back to center. Take your arms up the inside of your legs. Grab the outside of your feet for happy baby. And then you can release. And if there's anything else you need to do for a second, do it, okay? And if not, you're just going to settle yourself down into Shavasana. Shavasana can be whatever you like it to be. You can be in the classic pose or anything else that just feels right for you and your body. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to move around a little bit. Take your arms over your head and reach with a great big breath, a great big stretch. And please let it all out with a great big sighing exhale. And then when you're ready, roll over to a side. Pause there, still just breathing heavily, deeply. And then go ahead and roll on over and bring yourself up to a seated position. So I want to thank you guys for joining me here this morning. Again, I'm Ann, and I'm here with my friend Jason. He's a teacher here too, and he is, he's waving, but he's not going to come around in front of the camera. He's here. He's my tech guy this morning. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here. I think that there's one thing that we can agree on, a thing like this. I've been doing yoga a long time. I know very many people. I know plenty of people who could do this by themselves. I know very few people who will or do it by themselves. So I think we can all agree that it's really nicer to do it when you are in a group. And I can hardly wait till we are back here in a group, and I really believe we will be. And again, from myself and all my fellow teachers, and from Sue, the owner of our studio, we are really having a good time doing this. We're having a good time presenting this to you guys, and we so appreciate you watching. We so appreciate you, the comments that you have. It really makes us feel like we're all still together somehow, some way. So thank you so much for being a part of this and for sharing your yoga with me today. From my heart to your heart. Namaste.
Namaste.